A lot of us don't think about mobility until we hit our 30s. And with so much content out there, it can be tough to figure out exactly where to start. You know you need more shoulder mobility, hip mobility, or all over mobility. But treating your body like a collection of parts is part of what makes people stiff in the first place. The truth is, you only need to start with 4 movements. They cover most of your mobility needs while training your body to work together as a complete system. The first one is key for all the rest. This is called the bear walk, and it lays a foundation for strong shoulders and hamstrings that work with you instead of against you. Let me show you what I mean. Tight hamstrings, weak shoulders, and poor movement mechanics hinder everything you do. The bear walk helps improve all of that at once. And the great thing is that it's scalable at any level. Here's how you do it. Our setup for the bear will have you on the ground. Hands on the floor about shoulder width apart, knees, toes also shoulder width apart. Have your shoulders over your hands, your hips over your knees, and from here, all I'm going to ask you to do, simply push your butt up into the air as high as you can. This is called the A-frame, and we'll start from here. Just keep driving your hips up into the air. Don't worry too much about your heels going close to the floor. If you need to bend your knees, that's perfectly fine. Take one step with your right hand. Next, take a small step with your left foot. Now we're going to alternate going the left hand, right foot, right hand, left foot. And you can keep going in this direction or even work on going backwards. The key point here, alternating your hands and your feet as you're going, finding a position that's going to be good for you. A common issue I see is people not pushing their hips as high as they can into the air. So I want you to really focus on driving your hips upward as you do the bear walk, because that's where you get the shoulder and the hamstring load. For all 4 of the movements that I'm showing today, you can perform them each for 1 minute at the beginning of your workout as a warm-up, or you can save it to the end as a cool down. Adding this to the beginning of your workout is great because it preps your hamstrings, your hips, and your shoulders. So when you need to pick something up, whether it's a barbell or a bag of groceries, your body is ready. Loading the body without proper range of motion is a disaster waiting to happen. Some modifications for the bear can include simply bending your legs if you're having trouble in locking them out. Now, don't worry too much about getting your heels down to the floor over time with practice. Your range of motion there will improve. Just make sure that you're pushing your hips high up into the air. One other thing that I see people having a little bit of trouble with in the beginning is with the wrist. Feel free to simply take your fingers out to the side, and that will alleviate a bit of the stress on the hands. Here's a little variation of the bear walk if you need a challenge. I call it the Spider-Man walk, and it's a great movement that you can use actually in place of your push-ups. When working on the Spider-Man, make sure that you don't overly flare your elbows. You want to make sure to try and pull those into your side as your hands are staggered, you're twisting your body and lowering yourself to the ground as far as possible. Now, if you can't go all the way down, that's fine. Just go halfway down and you're still going to get results from the Spider-Man. The next move improves your squat depth and builds rotational strength. It's called the monkey. Most people only train forward and backward, and that leaves a massive gap in how you move. The monkey builds lateral strength, improves your squat depth, and develops that rotational power. And for the monkey, I'd like for you to start off in a squat that's going to be good for you. Now, bringing the heels up off the ground in the beginning will help you to go a little deeper into your squat, or you can actually sit up a little bit higher if this is good for you. Now from here, I'm going to ask you to place both of your hands on the floor to the side. You're going to load the arms, and from here, hop over into a squat. We can continue in this direction, one more, and then make sure you go to the opposite side. Loading the arms, making sure that the arms are straight. You can hop over into a squat that's good for you, continuing to perform the monkey. A common issue I see is people thinking that they need to be able to sit deep into a squat and therefore end up skipping the movement. But actually doing the monkey helps with your squat. So find a squat depth that's good for you and start there. Now doing the monkey to the right and the left for 1 minute total builds the lateral strength and hip mobility that most workouts completely ignore. Now when you need to change direction quickly or load your hips from different angles, this is what prepares you. A couple adjustments for the monkey include keeping your heels up off of the ground. This is going to help you to go a little bit deeper into your squat. Now, you can gradually work to sit into the squat, but as you're working on that, just understand that you need to work at a squat that's going to be good for you so you can adjust the height of that squat. As well, when you're working on this, just make sure that you're keeping your arms locked out, and you can adjust the stress placed on your wrist by opening up your fingers to the side similar to what you did with the bear. And here's a variation of the movement if you need a challenge. The high monkey is a great variation that's really going to challenge your control as well as help to start building up your arm strength. The next move builds off of the bear and the monkey to further improve your mobility as well as your upper body strength. Now, it's called the Frogger, but before we get there, all of these moves are from our Elements program. 3 levels, 15, 30, and 45-minute options. Everything's laid out, including how to assess where to start and how to make progress. Most people can either move through a full range or generate power, but typically not both at the same time. The Frogger fixes that, and here's how to do it. For the Frogger, we'll once again start in a squat that's going to be good for us. Now, rather than going to the side like our monkey, we're going to place our hands out in front. Now, from this position, I like to rotate the arms so that the elbow pits are facing forward. This is going to help us to keep our arms locked out. From this position, load so that your shoulders are over your hands, pull your toes forward, and go into a squat that's good for you. Now you can gradually work on slowly pulling those toes forward. This is going to further make use of your core as well as improve your arm strength. A common issue I see is people thinking that they need to pull their feet as far forward as possible. And while that's a great variation to work up to, in the beginning, just focus on slowly pulling your toes forward as far as you can so that you can go into a squat depth that's good for you. The cool thing, you'll also be building serious core and arm strength. And as I mentioned before, you can perform the Frogger and the rest of these movements for 1 minute, either as a warm-up or a cool down. The Frogger builds hip power while teaching your body to move dynamically through a full range. Now this carries over to everything from jumping to getting up off the ground quickly. An adjustment for the Frogger is keeping your hips a little higher up into the air as you perform it. You can also keep your heels off of the ground, but I do encourage you to try and work and sit as deeply into the squat as you can. Likewise, as I've mentioned before, adjust the position of your hand to accommodate your wrists. It can be as easy as simply taking your fingers out to the side to alleviate a bit of the stress on your wrists. And here's a variation of the Frogger that I really like. It's called the Frogger stall. Now, Frogger stall is a fabulous move, and over time it'll actually help if you're working towards the planche. Make sure that you're locking out your arms, pushing down and through the floor, and do this with control. The final move balances everything out. It's the crab walk. It builds your posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, upper back, while opening up your shoulders and improving your proprioception. Everyone trains their front side, their chest, their abs, their quads, and unless you're doing deadlifts or similar, you're skipping out on improving your posterior chain. The crab fixes that while forcing your shoulders into extension, which counteracts all the sitting and forward posture we find in our daily lives nowadays. With the crab, start off sitting on the floor. I'd like for you to take your hands, placing them as close to your hips as possible with your fingers facing out to the side. It's going to be a little easier on your wrists by having your fingers facing out in that direction instead of having them facing to the rear or to the front. So from this position, push down into the floor, bringing your chest up, float your hips. From here, keep pushing into the floor. I'd like for you to focus on pulling your shoulders back and then push down once again. Further, open up the front line of your body. Now from here, you're going to perform similar to the bear, in which you're going to bring one foot forward, the opposite hand. This time the left foot, right hand, right foot, left hand. And you can also go backwards. And this time when you go backwards, lead with your hands. So in this case, I'm going to take my left hand, bring it back, pull the right foot. Right hand goes, left foot, left hand, right foot. Now you might think that you need to push your hips as high as you can into the air to get results, but the key for the crab is actually slowing down and focusing on decreasing the side to side motion when moving your hands and legs. The less you sway, the more your entire body works together to improve your stability and posture. Keeping your hips low in the beginning will actually be good if you are having difficulty with this. You can just start in place. Don't worry about walking, just get a feel for the movement and then gradually start taking small steps that are going to be good for you. And once you have the crab down, try out this variation of it. Crab toe taps are a fun variation of the crab that's really going to focus on working your balance as well as your core. Start off with the leg bent in the beginning, touching your knee. You can gradually work to fully extend your leg and touch your toes. These 4 movements, the bear walk, monkey, frogger, and crab, can be as simple as just practicing them 4 minutes total. 1 minute each, that's it. But here's the thing, the key is in making sure to be consistent. And that's where having a smart system like our Elements program makes all the difference. And check out this next video where I take you through a full 20-minute session using all 4 of these movements along with variations.